Hey there, welcome and welcome back. I hope everybody's doing good out there today. Today I'm going to be starting a new series. I've been thinking about doing this for a while. I, I mean, you all know how much I love music, and I kind of wanted to explore the music that means stuff to me, the music that meant something to me years ago that maybe isn't even something I'm really into anymore. But I wanted to kind of introduce you to where my love of music started and where it went and where it is now as it goes on. So I'm going to be doing this. This is not going to. There's not a set day of the week or anything. I'm just going to kind of throw these out as the itch gets me. But I decided I wanted to start with singer that to this day, if I hear this singer singing, I listen to it. When I'm, as a little kid, as most of y'all probably did, you listen to the music that your parents listened to. You didn't control the radio; your parents did, whatever. And both of my parents listened to country music back in this. It was the '70s. They were, we were in rural New Mexico. Everybody listened to country music. So one of my first impressions of music was Kenny Rogers. And like I said, to this day, no matter how hardcore of music I'm listening to, if Kenny Rogers is playing on the radio, if I'm like moving around the radio and I hear a Kenny Rogers song, I'm listening to it. I don't necessarily go, seek him out, but if I catch it, I'm listening to it because his voice is amazing. His storytelling is amazing. And it brings back that nostalgia of being a little kid and really loving this music. I'm sure I'd listened to other music as a little, really little kid. But this is what I remember as my first real love of music was Kenny Rogers. So I'm going to be doing The Gambler, which of course is one of, if not his biggest hit. I've decided, I've seen lots of people react to the video, so I decided to go ahead and I'm going to react to a live. I haven't listened to this specific version yet. I didn't want to, listen to it beforehand, but I believe it's from the same show as there's a version of his song Lady that a lot of people have reacted to. I believe it's the same show. So I know the audio is good. But I'm excited to get this started. I want to take y'all kind of through my history of music. There's going to be some country, some soft rock, some hard rock, going into metal, and going a few different directions. And I'm excited to bring you guys along this journey of why I am who I am through music. Music, my whole life has been insanely important to me. So I'm excited to bring y'all along. Real quick, I do want to let y'all know I do have a Patreon. The link will be down in the description. Most of my reaction videos go up at least a day in advance over there. Plus, if you join the Blades tier, you get 2 patron shout-out requests every month. Doesn't matter what it is, how obscure, how crazy, if you want, or how crazy you think it is. If you love it, I want to hear it. And as of this point, I've enjoyed everything that my patrons have brought to me. Anywhere from enjoyed to absolutely loved. None of it has been in the like, oh my God, I can't stand this. So my patrons have been just rock stars. If you want to just help a little bit and just join the $1 tier, you do get a patron shout out request just for joining. If you want to donate a little bit more directly, I do have my PayPal and my Cash App down in the description. Or you can use the super thanks to YouTube. Any help y'all can give me really does mean everything. It helps so much, and I really appreciate it. But anyways, I'm excited to get into this. Again, Kenny Rogers, in my memory, is the first music I can specifically remember listening to. He has such an amazing voice, and he's such an amazing storyteller. So I'm excited for this. So here we go with music of my history. That's what I'm going to call the series is the music of my history. So here we go with Kenny Rogers and The Gambler.
On a warm summer's eve, train bound for nowhere,
gravelly
met
voice.
up with a gambler. We were both too tired to sleep, so we took turns staring out the window at the darkness. The boredom overtook us, and he began to speak. He said, son, I made my life out of reading people's faces, knowing what the cards were by the way they held their eyes. So if you don't mind me saying, I can see you're out of aces. For a taste of your whiskey, I'll give you some advice. So I handed him my bottle, and he drank down my last swallow. Then he bummed a cigarette and asked me for a light. And the night got deadly quiet, and his face lost all expression. Said, if you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right. You got.
Hold on, before we get into the chorus, those first few notes when he sing, his natural voice, his normal range that his would be his speaking voice, his natural singing voice has a little bit of gravel, a little bit of distortion in it, which it's so unique. But when he goes really low, like those first few notes of the song, it's like there's so much gravel in there. You'd think it wasn't good, but it is. It just makes what his voice is. I remember seeing this or hearing this as a little kid, and just on TV, we'd see him playing, or they'd play the video, or this was before MTV. There were like on the weekends there would be like video shows, which would play some music videos, and you'd get his story videos, then his movies. I loved his movies. He did, I think he did The Gambler. Did he do an actual Gambler movie or a Coward of the County movie? One of those. He did a couple Westerns. And then in the 80s, he did a racing movie. He was a NASCAR driver. It's called Six Pack, where he basically adopts these kids who are scam artists. They're out on their own, and they're starting to scam him, and he takes them in. And it's a great movie. It's really enjoyable. And he's a great actor. He's a great singer. Like I said, storyteller, everything. I will never, doesn't matter how hardcore of Slayer or anything that I'm listening to, Kenny Rogers is still something I love. It's so much nostalgia and history. I can't get enough of it.
Swallow. Then he bummed a cigarette and asked me for a light. And the night got deadly quiet, and his face lost all expression. Said, if you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right. You got to know when
Look at that crowd.
know when to
Thousands
fold,
of people are in that arena.
know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for count when the dealing's done. Now every gambler knows
That key change, such a good key change right there.
knowing what to throw away, knowing what to keep. Cause every hand's a winner, and every hand's a loser. And the best you can hope for is to die in your sleep. So when he finished speaking, turned back toward the window, crushed out his cigarette, faded off to sleep. And somewhere in the darkness, the gambler, he broke even. But in his final words, I found an ace that I could keep. You got to know when to hold.
Hold on, before we get going, I wanted to point something out. Where'd it go? This isn't necessarily musically involved, but he's on this big, round stage basically with a band in the middle, but it's before wireless mics. His mic has a cable, and he's walking around with it. And this is I had never noticed it on any of the videos I've watched of this concert, any of the reactions I've watched. But if you watch this, I'm pointing like you see this right here. I bet there's probably one of these stakes at every corner of the stage to keep his mic cord from dragging across the band. That's really cool. And then right before the camera switches from here, there's a hand that comes up and moves the cord. So he's got somebody inside the ring with the band keeping track of his chord. Just that coordination and that thoughtfulness of, I want to do this in the round. The band's going to be here. What do I do with the mic cable without strangling my guitarist? So I found that the technical aspect of performing with a wired cord, a wired mic at this point in time in history, that's the logistics of that has got to be a nightmare. But it's cool that they did that. So when you watch as this part, right before the camera changes, you'll see a hand come up and kind of move, adjust his mic cord, which right now is coming, looks like straight back this way, off over here. So I noticed that and it just caught my eye and I wanted to mention it.
He finished speaking, turned back toward the window, crushed out his cigarette, faded off to sleep.
And a hand comes up to
somewhere in the darkness, the gambler, he broke even. But in his final words, I found an ace that I could keep. You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for count when the dealing's done. You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money.
And the backing vocals are fantastic.
There'll be time enough for count when the dealing's done.
So good. Hell yeah. That's just so good. I know old country isn't necessarily for everybody, but I mean, you can't deny the talent of Kenny Rogers. So that was Kenny Rogers with The Gambler. Again, this is going to be music from my history. And I'm excited to get to share this with you. This, again, this is the beginning of my love for music. Hearing Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton and a bunch of these older country artists from the 70s was the first music I heard, and I just fell in love with it for years. I mean, I was dead set against rock and roll for a few years as a kid. It took me a while to warm up to the rock and roll because all I knew was country. But anyways, I really enjoyed doing this. I really enjoyed revisiting the song. Like I said, I've never actually seen this a live version of it. I've only ever seen the video of it, the music video. And he's such a great performer. The number of people in that arena in the late 70s, there was almost nobody on the planet as popular as Kenny Rogers. He could draw a crowd. Really enjoyed this. So if you guys enjoyed it, please give the video a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm going to be going through several songs. I've got several on my list so far. Only a couple of country, a few rock, and then as I got older and older, my musical taste got more and more aggressive. I actually had a discussion with my mom about that once. Not too long ago, just maybe 10 years ago, and she was like, I was listening to something, and she was like, I thought when you got older, your music was supposed to get softer, yet my music has consistently gotten more aggressive as I've gotten older. But Kenny Rogers is unbelievable. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it, and I hope you'll join me on this journey. So talk to you next time.